through and through. Oh, the Toon Review. Laughs and passion, football too. We are the Toon Review. By the fans, for the fans, through and through. Laughs and passion, football too. We are the Toon Review. We are the Toon Review. We are the Toon Review. We are the Toon Review.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Toon Review for tonight's match review of Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest with myself and Stato tonight. Billy was hopefully going to be joining us a bit later if he gets the chance to. It is all about Nottingham Forest. It's all about Eddie, touching on what Eddie said today, trying to work out what team he's going to put out. We'll have a look at Forest, of course, and see what threats they have. One in particular player that I think was asked a lot about in the press conference, which will be a particular threat to Newcastle. But we will get into it all, folks. So if you do enjoy the show tonight, as usual, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free of charge. And of course, it helps the channel out massively. Please keep voting for us in the Football Content Awards. The finals are in November, but voting is still open and we need your help more than ever. So all the instructions and the link are right at the top of tonight's description for the show. You can become a member by hitting the join button if you do so wish. And of course, super chats are available. That's the $ at the bottom of the live comments, which will guarantee us to read your comment out on the show as a thank you for super chatting. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening to everybody in the chat, the viewers, everybody in Viewerland, the Magpie Massive. Tom, I'm not a stranger. I'm back, and this is a Maritimo shirt for everybody who's asked so far. They're a Portuguese team in League Two of Portugal.
How dare you wear a different team shirt, Alex? I get absolutely destroyed when I wear different shirts.
You wear English shirts. This is my holiday guilty pleasure. If I go abroad, I'll buy a shirt.
Doesn't matter.
And I'll try and make it interesting, like a weird team. It's kind of my thing.
Yes, but I don't wear other shirts that are a challenge to Newcastle. They're just football shirts.
I don't think Maritimo are much of a threat.
Well, we did play them a few years back. We did actually.
We played them under Alan Pardew, for those who will remember.
Indeed. Anyway, I gather you've watched the press conference, Alex, so you know exactly what Alex said today, what Eddie said today. Not you, of course. We know what you're going to say, but I want to start on the topic of Joe Willock, if I may, Alex, because he was asked about Joe Willock and where is he fitting in, because it was a really good question, actually, and finally something that sort of Eddie had to sort of answer and give us an idea of where he is in the squad. And he answered very, very briefly and very quickly on it. And I just got the impression not all is well with Joe Willock, because he said about his, he's got to train well. He's got to show a good mentality, and he's got to take his opportunity when he's on the pitch. So is Eddie telling us there that despite the fact that he's had his opportunity, Alex, that's why he's not getting on, because he hasn't taken his chance?
I interpreted that slightly differently. I thought the journalist, I can't remember who asked the question, asked a very loaded question by saying, after the game, Joe looked very down. He walked on the pitch. He looked sad. His head was down. His head was down. His head was down. He looked sad. It's like, okay, we get your point. And then I thought Eddie responded fairly positively, to be fair, saying the cliche things of, yep, he's fine. He just needs to train well. He needs to crack on with it. I mean, he's not wrong. What else is he supposed to say? I thought it was quite open and shut, to be fair.
Well, I just thought the way he answered it, and again, look, he's saying that he's got to take his opportunity when he gets in the team, and that for me was saying, I mean, look.
Yeah, ultimately,
I can second guess it, but I just got the feeling that he's not been too impressed with Willock when he's had the opportunity.
No, I don't think any of us have been, and I'm a big fan of Joe Willock based on what he did a few years ago. But again, how long can we keep clinging on to that for? I think a few of us on the channel are all in agreement that Sean went instead of Joe Willock because of the homegrown pure profit thing.
Yeah.
If Joe Willock had been a little bit more available, and that wasn't the case with the financial rules, I think it'd have been Joe Willock that had gone. Personally, I could be completely wrong. It's just my thoughts on it. So I think he's a lucky boy. I think he's at the end of the pecking order. He's not really showing that he's a competent rotation option for Joe Linton in games, in my opinion. Or I say competent. He's not good enough for what we're trying to do. And then he's also not providing sort of the wing runs, the driving runs, just the sort of things we want him in the team for. That's not really happening. But I thought it was a very neutral answer from Eddie Howe. And
of course, the thing is, Alex, Jacob Ramsey could actually be back in the squad this weekend as well, which for me,
if Ramsey gets a run of form, then
he's right down the pecking order.
Really.
I personally think we'll let him go in January if we can stay injury free and these players.
I'd rather not, unless we get a really tiny fee for him.
We're not going to get a big fee for Joe Willock now, Alex. I can't see it. I just can't. He's not. He's in.
We get more than we got for Sean.
Oh yeah, I would say so. But
so we're looking. I think we get a tidy fee. I think we'd get. I'd be annoyed if we didn't fish for 20 plus, or at least tried to. Maybe if we could play him into a little bit of form and try and get some close to what we paid for him, would be nice.
I think
we'd struggle, but
I think we do very well to get what we paid for.
He's 25, but he has been injury prone.
He's gone backwards for
Premier League proven. It's a tricky one. I think 20-ish is probably ballpark.
Scott says, I think you hit the nail on the head, Alex. Willock never making driving runs. When is Willock's contract up, though? Not sure.
That's a good question. I mean, to be fair, though, before we start going down that path, I think it's best to let him have the season. We'll see if he can sort it out. I think he's owed as much because he's done a lot for the club. He's a good lad. We want to keep these kind of people at the club. So
but at the same
he knows
time,
the system. He knows everything. I agree. We've got to be cutthroat at some point, but give him the season as rotation. See if he can play himself into some form, keep himself injury free. If he can't again, then it's probably too many times.
I just get the feeling he's had his chance. I honestly do. I just get the feeling that he's had his chance and he's
26 now. Actually, he's not 25.
Yeah. We'll see. Peter Griffin with a super chat while you're looking for that, Alex. Forest can't defend set pieces and they're terrible at defending transitions. Our Giants could be very handy on attacking set pieces and on attacking transitions. We could cause damage if we're on it. And Kieran says the chances that Willock had was the team playing well. Well, no, but it's a good
point as well.
Yeah, but it is up to Joe Willock to try and inspire the team as well. Take the game by the scruff of the neck. That's what we've wanted to see from Willock, and that's probably what Eddie wants to see as well. But
he's got 2 years left.
Just haven't.
Well, he's going to have, at the end of this season, he'll have 1 year left.
Right, okay.
So we're looking on the lower end of a fee. He can also qualify to play for Montserrat, which, if I was Joe Willock, I mean, maybe he's hanging on by a thread that he might break into England, possibly. But I'd just go play for Montserrat. That'd be really cool.
Where the hell is Montserrat?
No idea. I'm sure people will tell us momentarily now we've.
Don't get me wrong. I've heard of Montserrat. I do not have a Scooby-Doo.
British overseas territory in the Caribbean.
That's in the Caribbean, isn't it? Okay. Interesting. Raz says, lads, we got our set piece coach from Midfield. They've just scored 2 of them against Forest. We might have gotten the wrong Midfield coach in. I did actually see that. But I mean, look, we'll touch on Eddie's press conference as we go on as well, Alex. But Nottingham Forest, we had a Forest fan in the chat this morning on the live show, and Eddie, during his press conference, was asked about Nottingham Forest, and of course, he was his usual dignified self, saying that they're a dangerous team and that they can cause a lot of problems, and Ange is a good manager and all of this. And then the Nottingham Forest fan piped up and said, "Don't take any notice of that absolute drivel. We are going to get stuffed on Sunday, at least 4-0 to the Newcastle." So, the Forest fan. I said the Newcastle for some strange reason there. I don't know why. That's what we should be known as from now on, the Newcastle. But Forest are in bits at the minute, and you know, I think they're going to regret letting Nuno go. If they haven't done already. I mean, the fans were chanting at Ange last night, Alex, you're getting sacked in the morning. That was the Forest fans. They've basically had enough of what they've seen from him already.
I mean, their results and performances have not been good enough based on the quality of their players.
Yeah.
We'll look at their team today, but on this channel we're a big fan of a couple of their centre halves. We like it's no secret that we like some of their midfielders.
Yeah.
Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs White, Igor Jesus has come in. He's the guy that we actually reviewed on transfer shows in the summer, who does the funny Kamehameha thing from Dragon Ball Z. He came over from Brazil. They've still got Chris Wood in there. Sells did very well last year. You know, they're massively underperforming. But we said this. I basically gave an armchair opinion on this in the summer, and I don't think it's too far wrong. Well, not in the summer. As soon as the managers changed, you've got one of the lowest possession teams in the league playing in a certain way, and you hire somebody like Ange, who wants to play one of the highest possession systems in the league. It's completely different. I mean, Eddie Howe was very modest when he said that the styles, or what did he say, tactics are slightly different. I mean, Eddie, mate, that's bloody modest. That is. They could not be further apart. Just night and day different. So it's not that they're not good footballers. It's that they're being asked to do something completely different. And it shows, because this is a team that, fair enough, they didn't finish the season quite as strong last year. They did sort of drop down. So they've not been in the best form for a period, but you know, they're far too good to be. Well, they haven't won in 6 games. That's not good enough for a team like this.
They haven't won a game since Ange took over.
Like we've had struggle gelling, and we've won a few. Like we've won a couple of games and got some draws. And we're a little bit annoyed with our start, but they've been absolute dross.
Yeah, they have. And listen, we have to take this Champions League form. We have to take that into the Premier League now. And Eddie alluded to that in his press conference this morning. He said that, you know, that has to be transitioned into the Premier League, because the Premier League is our bread and butter, of course. And the thing is, it's another international break after this weekend. So, you know, we're going to have to, we really want to finish on a high, because we Nottingham Forest have enjoyed coming to St James's Park in the last couple of seasons. And we don't want a repeat of that, because playing so well on Wednesday night and then, you know, slipping up against Forest will be a right kick in the bollocks, especially where we are in the league. We need to start making some points up.
Yes, this is a game to maybe bolster the goal difference. Oh, that sounds so harsh. I feel dirty saying that, because Forest are a really good team, but they're not in a good place right now. And I don't think any Forest fans would be too upset with me saying that they're not playing well. There were a few of our journalists today suggesting that we may or may not have started clicking in the press conference. So yeah, if we
didn't you like Eddie's answer to that though, Alex, when he was asked about that?
And then he said, there's more clicking to do. Yeah,
he said even if we had clicked, I would still want more, and I would still say we haven't totally
all
clicked,
of the
even if we have. He's his work ethic's incredible. He just wants.
This is
the
an
best
opportunity to take 3 points and try and get +2 or 3 goal difference. That would be a best case scenario, good day at the office. But we'll take whatever. If we can just get a win with whatever, that would be nice. But ideally, this is an opportunity for us to have a good performance and get 3 points and cushion the goal difference or recover it a little bit. We'll have to wait and see, because again, even though they've been crap, individually they've got some good players. So they might start clicking at some point. Who knows?
Yep. Michael McIntyre, thank you for your super chat. I'm not going to read it out because we don't deal with politics on this show. That's nothing to do with football, so we're staying away from that. Thank you. But thank you for your super chat. Magpie50 says, Nuno has been a thorn for us. I can't remember Ange has ever done well against us, and we have more height. Yes, we do have more height, but
that didn't matter against Arsenal.
No, that's what needs to start working is the height we have in the team. Obviously, at the start, he was asked about Elliot Anderson, and you expected him to be asked a lot about Elliot Anderson.
5 times.
Yeah, but I did. He was very honest, though. He was asked a question about Elliot, saying, do you think he would have had the rise that he's had he stayed at Newcastle United? And Eddie said no. It would have been a slower process because of who's in front of him at this football club. But that's not to say that he wouldn't have forced his way in or anything like that. I thought it was a really good, honest answer by Eddie, because I think we all agree with that. If he was still at Newcastle, yes, he'd get games. Yes, he'd get game time, but he wouldn't get the amount of game time and the responsibilities that maybe he's got at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he summed it up perfectly that they play with two deeper midfielders. We don't. We play with one. We bought Sandro Tonali. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And we've got Bruno, who generally plays there, and Miley, who's trying to play there. So, I mean, Elliot Anderson got shoehorned in at left wing back twice.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So it's one of those. It's one of those. And Eddie Howe was very complimentary in the variety of positions he can play. It is just a shame. And he also alluded to the fact that we were not in a position, not in a strong negotiating position to try and get a good deal out of that transfer.
Well, he
And
said it was a bargain, wasn't it? He said Forest got him for a bargain.
I think that was a double-edged sword, because I don't think he was necessarily just referring to the transfer fee. It was the fact that we also can't buy him back. Some kind of buyback clause or something would have been really nice.
Because he was asked
we could
about
have put
that,
a 50 mil buyback clause.
Yeah.
I think we'd have already activated it, to be honest.
Yeah, he was asked if Eddie thought of him maybe come back to Newcastle, and he said he can't. It's impossible to answer that. How can he?
Yeah, it's not fair, really, is it?
Yeah, but I think Eddie was quite humorous in what he said about PSR. Oh my God, he's here! Look, here he is. There he is.
Good evening.
Mr. Trey, good evening. How were the nurses, Mr. Trey?
Very kind and very soft.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we're just talking about a bit about the press conference, Billy, and just about Elliot Anderson, etc. But he did have a go at PSR, Alex, which I found funny, because he said, "What do you think of the possibility of scrapping PSR?" And all Eddie turned around and said was, "It depends what comes next," and sort of gave a cheeky little laugh to it, as if to say, "Well." And I said I said on the live show this morning, it doesn't really matter, because whatever they decide to do, it'll be an old pals act again with the cartel. So it'll be something to benefit them and no bugger else.
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody's under no illusion that this is a thing. The status quo cannot be challenged. They don't want that. Everton have been thrown to the wolves. Villa have tried and are just really struggling this season. Yeah. We are managing to keep momentum, and it's through very good choices. And we've had very few transfers fail, so it's very good recruitment. All of the time, everybody's mocked sort of Andy Howe and various people at parts in the last few years, but we're the only ones where we've got most of them right. So we kind of got to hold our hands up there. And yeah, it's regards to if they're going to change it for something else. Of course, it's going to be for the status quo. They don't want it changing again. There's no secret that there was a meeting between all of the owners, the owners of the red shirt teams, with Richard Masters. It's a logged photo, and there's a huge narrative about what happened in that, about the distribution of prize money, the distribution of all the money, rules, this, that, and the other. They didn't want a repeat of a Leicester City. They lost a lot of revenue. They don't want it. It is very much pulling the ladder up to the treehouse so they can sit in their own treehouse. And I am under no illusions that the new rules will reflect that. I think they're under pressure to change it for certain reasons, because they've not accounted for inflation. Obviously, these rules got set, 15 odd years ago? And there's been no adjustments for inflation since then, which is stupid. Yep. It's very stupid, actually. It's very non-professional. And various other factors that it's encouraging clubs to just sell homegrown players who want to play for their own clubs. So it just doesn't, even if we ignore the corruption, it still doesn't work very well anyway, because it's you're selling youth academy prospects all the time for pure profit, and there's no inflation adjustment. So it's just poor. It's not fit for purpose. Of course, at all. Should have been dealt with years ago. It's disgusting.
And by the way, talking about things not fit for purpose, VAR. Did you see the Celtic incident last night, guys?
I didn't see it, no.
Oh my
not.
God! It is the worst decision.
Oh, is this some kind of handball from?
Yeah, Iheanacho, right? He sort of
about this.
he broke free. Two opposition defenders came to him. The ball popped up, and it looks like it's either hit him in like sort of the top of the shoulder or the face, and he went on and scored. It was a really good finish, and the VAR disallowed the goal for a handball. It was the worst decision probably I have ever seen from VAR. It was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
If it's rules as written at the moment, isn't it? If the
how
ball
sad that
touches
was.
the hand in any way,
It
you
was
know,
a shocker. An
In goal
absolute
scoring
shocker.
things, yeah.
in a goal, which is weird that it's two ways. If it touches the attacker's hand, even if it's accidental, handball. That's
But
how
it
the rule.
wasn't-
That's how
it
they've
wasn't-
redone
it was,
the
It
rules.
hit him in the face. It didn't.
Oh, did
hit
it not touch his hand at all?
No, nowhere near
No,
his hand.
no.
Okay,
Trying to-
I didn't realise
sounds
that.
like they're
Okay,
trying to
then
make
they've just
out it
got
did.
it wrong then.
Honestly, if you get a
Well,
chance, Alex, go and watch it because it is
Yeah, I'll have
it
to.
is an absolute shocker. Shocker.
Well, Mark Clattenburg's been throwing Howard Webb under several buses the last couple of
Well,
days
good.
as well.
Somebody needs to
fine, easy.
fucking do it. It's
Although he
I
can't
mean,
talk because he's got what Clatty or something is his bloody private reg. They've all got massive egos, haven't they?
What's wrong with having a private reg?
Well, you know, he's a middle-aged bloke.
I
and
mean,
he's-
if you had one, you always have it's Clatty. And Clatty's a bit of a...
it's like, you know,
Yeah, it's a bit of a
spiky
weird
hair gel and a private reg. He's one, he's one of them. Like I don't know.
Billy, have you got a
I'm just
lightning storm
stereotyping.
going on down there at the minute?
Have I got what?
Is there a lightning storm going on in Coventry or something?
No, not at the minute. It's something to do with the camera, I know.
Are
It's not been
you
a-
are you still using? Are you using OBS as a virtual camera? Hello, Billy.
Don't know.
I'm back now.
Yeah, are you using OBS as a virtual camera all the time?
No.
Okay. I mean, it's just it's.
I wouldn't have the background, would I, if I did?
Yes, you can.
Can you? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yes.
And we'll fix it later.
Well, I mean, it's given me. I mean, we're sort of going to have to warn people with epilepsy shortly. The way he's flashing. And those that are listening on the podcast later on, I mean, flashing lights, nothing to do with Billy flashing anything else, by the way. Ray Fagan says, let's hope Alanga doesn't hold back if he plays.
Why would he hold back?
Yeah.
He's only there for a couple of years.
He's Newcastle United. And he wants to do well for Newcastle. Zach Blaze, who's been a member for a month. Thank you very much, Zach. That win in the Champions League on Wednesday brings good momentum. We should be getting a result here on Sunday versus Forest, but we can't sit back. And Ian Fleming says, I was fuming with that Celtic VAR, Paul. Yeah, I think generally as football fans, we were fuming at it. It was a shocker. But the problem is, Alex, how much longer are we going to see these shocking decisions from VAR? It can't go on like this. It just can't go on like this.
I don't think it's the decisions that are the problem. It's the consistency that's the problem. It's you getting certain teams getting penalties and free kicks and red cards and this, that, and the other, and goals allowed or disallowed, shirt pulling, injuries. But the problem is there's no consistency in the decisions that are being dished out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's annoying all of the fan bases. Like if it was consistent, if it's like, 3 people get done for shirt pulls on Saturday and a few get done for it on Sunday, it's like, well, yeah, we've set a precedent. Shirt pulls, you get punished. But it just keeps chopping and changing. So everybody's constantly just frustrated with it. And every fan base is, because every team's getting done. Even the Cartel 6 are getting bad rubs of the green sometimes because the referees it's just a lack of competence entirely. And they've got the most assistants that officials have ever had in the history of the game. They communicate with like 4 people via a headset. And
Billy,
they have a team
Billy,
on
do you want to go
camera.
and check your wiring, mate?
Here's the one.
Right. Do you want to go and check it and then checking all the wiring? Venemaker, I'm not sure how long you've been a Newcastle fan, buddy. Lads, was it our first ever Champions League win in history?
No.
No, it wasn't. No is the answer to that.
Our first this season.
Well, it's our first of the season. Absolutely, absolutely. But no, we've won in the Champions League. We've had some good performances. Billy's going to throw his camera out the window. I get a very strong feeling that his camera's going out the window. Try logging off altogether. He's gone. Yeah,
He's gone.
He's serves him right for being late. Even though he had nurses. Never mind. Right, let's take a look at Forest and Alex, because we'll have a look at.
Right,
And I think for people watching, it's going to be a case of actually seeing how bad they've been of recent games, and it's become a bit of a problem. And I think the Forest fans they've really dramatically lost all confidence in what the process or what the plan is for this season for Forest.
Yeah, I will share my screen. Yeah, it's not been fantastic. Obviously, we're going to have to look at this with several views, because you've got pre-Ange, post-Ange,
Pre-Ange, yeah.
transfers
But
to
can I
consider
just
as
say,
well.
I've got noise-cancelling headphones on, right? And I can still hear the rain battering off the window here. It is absolutely shocking. Dangerous weather tonight, Alex. I don't know what it's like down your
I
end.
can't hear it through. Well, it's pretty bad, but I can't hear anything.
It's horrendous up here.
Here is the last starting 11 for Forest. So here's just a bit of an insight into what they do. Zinchenko has gone there, of course. They've got a few transfers. But
Alex, I just want to say something. Guys, Venomega just made a simple comment, and anybody making toxic replies or being cheeky or being nasty, please.
I mean, if he's a new fan, then he's not going to know everything.
I mean, Howie, just that's not what we're about on this channel. So if you're going to keep being like that, stop it, or else you will be removed, and removed permanently, because I can't be arsed with anybody bullying each other in the chat. It's ridiculous. Grow up. Anyway, sorry, Alex, carry on, mate.
Anyway, recent form of Forest. Here we go. A loss to Swansea, which is not. I mean, you shouldn't really be losing to Welsh teams in the English Premier League, but never mind. Well, again, obviously a cup game.
Apologies to our Welsh viewers once again.
Well, they have their own domestic league that they can play in, but they play in ours. Burnley as well. A draw. A 2-2 draw to Betis, which is obviously considerably more impressive than drawing to Burnley. They lost to the
yes, it
Mackhams.
was. Just to reply to you. No, it was. Was it the first away win? I think that's what he was trying to say, Alex, in the Champions League.
I mean, we must have won away before.
No, of course we did. We won against PSV, didn't we? Or final, whatever it was. When Kay Bellamy scored.
Was that Champions League?
Just
Yes,
not for a while.
Yeah. Yes,
and then they lost to Midfield as well. So it's and there are more poor results prior to that as well. Should we have a look what they think the lineups are going to be? We'll check. We're more interested in Forest than us at the moment.
Yep.
So, apparently it's just going to force me onto Morato's page. No, we don't want to see that. So, wing backs, guys. It is wing backs. Williams and Endoy apparently as the wing backs. Milenkovic, Morata, Murillo. Of course, Billy's a big fan of. Well, I guess both. And they are good fullbacks, wing backs, centre halves. They seem to be able to play like all of them all at once, and they're quite meaty as well.
The best one's injured, though, isn't he? Oh, no, he's out for a while.
Murillo's injured.
Is he?
Ian is out for weeks.
Yeah,
Mm.
this is just a predicted lineup, guys. Ibrahima Sangare in midfield with Elliot Anderson, two again competent sort of DMs that can do a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Igor Jesus I did mention this earlier on in the show. Is obviously the guy that we looked at in several transfer shows from Brazil, and they've gone for him. You've got Gibbs White, Hudson-Odoi. So you've got really good players there, to be fair, that have served them very well over recent seasons. And on the bench, who else could come in and make a difference? James McAtee, Ryan Yates, Kalimuendo, of course, Billy, and Chris Wood. They've got a lot of players that could come on and or start instead of this lot and do something. So it is not a bad squad at all. It is, by rights, got to be top 10 Premier League. Absolutely has to be with the sort of players that are in this team. So hopefully they don't do that thing where it's a team that are being crap for a while and then they get going against us, which is normally what bloody happens, but never mind. Hang on, I would like to have a look at Forest stats as a team. Maybe have a look at last season to show you the contrast. So team stats from last season, if we go and have a look, they were the 6th best team defensively, middle of the park for goals scored, an average possession. So this is going to be the big difference. 40.8% possession, 18th last season, but clean sheets, 13, second in the league. So very, very different to how they're going to be playing now with Ange. If we swap it to 2025, I appreciate that it's a very low sample size so far. They are now. There he is. There's Ange. Regardless of the results, they're now doing that, which is a bit different. So it's a huge tactical change. So Eddie Howe, again, being very modest, it is a completely different way of playing football. So, yeah, I don't really care because they've got to come and get the ball off us at St. James's Park. Good luck with that. If they want to try and come for a fight, we tend to be better at that, to be completely honest. Forest, in their old capacity, are quite hard to play against. So, personally, I prefer playing against this type of Forest than last year's type of Forest with Nuno at the helm. I think it's an easier task for us. Not that it's a foregone conclusion, but certainly better.
Yeah.
Do we have any differences in SofaScore? Have they got lineups? Yes, they have. Is there any difference? They think Bakwa is going to play outright. They think it's going to be a 4-2-3-1. Not wing backs. So
they've gone with Chris Wood.
Yeah, FotMob and SofaScore completely disagreeing with each other on predicted lineups. They think it's going to be a back 4 with Chris Wood up front and various other changes as well. So if we've got any Forest fans watching, who's going to play? Because these are different lineups.
Zinchenko's injured and all, isn't he?
I don't know. I'm
sure that he was injured. He's up. He usually is. Why not now?
Yeah, Simon says there, Zinchenko is injured, but
It says doubtful here.
Doubtful.
I forgot Douglas Luiz was there as well. Yeah, okay. Ange needs to take a bit of criticism here. This is a really good squad. Yeah. I don't care. There's a few people that said it in the chat, oh, he's not had a transfer window. So it is a really good squad. You can't be winless in 6. That's nonsense.
I think, Billy, that he might go with Chris Wood because of he's good in the air and going against Chow and hopefully against Chow and Botman on Sunday. I don't think Jesus is the type of player that may want to go against, that Ange may put against Botman and Chow, that they may go with a Chris Wood battering ram kind of tactic.
Well,
and of course, he got a hat-trick last year.
Well, he's fresh, isn't he? He's also fresh. It was 2 seasons ago he got the hat-trick. Yeah, it wasn't last season. We beat them 4-3 last season, didn't we? But yeah, he's fresh as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if Wood played, especially with his previous affiliation to us. I think Ange's got to try something different, and I think Chris will probably come in.
Yeah.
Have you met Ange Postecoglou?
Yeah, Ange, yeah. I've met him a few times.
The guy who doesn't try something different when it's not working.
Yeah, but he's had a European game. He'll try something different. He won't try anything different.
You mean the guy who had European games with Spurs and still didn't try something different?
Well, he tried different strikers.
Yeah, but he didn't try anything different for Forest in Europe last night and still lost.
I don't care if we've got 6 players sent off. I'm going to have a high line with that guy.
Yeah, well, defensively, I agree.
Can I ask a question, right, to both of you? What is the big fascination? And where does this fantastic manager come from when people talk about Ange? Because he went to Celtic.
He tries to play sexy football, doesn't he?
Now, to be honest, Celtic, I mean, the football he plays probably would have suited him because Celtic at the time could have beaten anybody in Scotland, okay? It's Scottish football, and I'm not having a dig at Scottish football. I'm just saying Celtic were at the height of the powers when he was there. If he failed at Celtic, then,
we are, mate.
Yeah. But I don't understand what this big thing about Ange is. He was dreadful at Tottenham, and he started at Forest, and he's fucking shit there.
He
And I
started
feel
He's
all right
won
at
in the
really-
Europa League, Paul, so you can't, it's
Billy
not,
Evans-
it's not a failure.
He started all right at Tottenham. Give him credit, he did. This is when
Really?
everyone-
They were like top of the league for the first 3 months he was in
Yeah,
charge.
it's
Yeah,
not
they
all right.
I'm
absolutely
not having it.
dominated
I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I think he's a shit
It doesn't
manager.
matter whether
He's
you're
overrated.
having it. That is a fact.
Remember, he was
He's
there 2
overrated.
seasons.
He's
He was there
overrated.
2 seasons. They took him from not in Europe to being in Europe.
He's
And then-
overrated.
I mean, I don't
And
think,
then,
I
and
don't think
then
he's
once
overrated.
people
He's
started
got
to
a
suss
job
out
at
how he
Forest.
was playing, it was nothing.
Right. I think he's overrated. That's my
Yeah, but
opinion.
he's got a job at Forest, so he's clearly not.
Alex.
And that is, I am going to be disrespectful for Forest there. He's not overrated because he's gone to a club that
I think. Listen,
is
I think
outside of that bracket, really.
that's my opinion. Some managers I think are good, some I don't think are very good, and I don't think Ange is a good manager. Nothing to do with his nationality. Before Aussie start bashing us, I just
Bloody
don't
hell,
think
mate.
he's a good manager.
At the end of the day, when people suss out what he does, he's had it.
He can't
Yeah,
change. He's got one way of playing, and that's
He has
it.
he has no plan B. And it took people in the Premier League or managers or coaches or whatever you want to call them.
Not very long at all to work him out.
It took him long enough.
Couple of months, and then thought, right,
It was
that's how he plays.
He was
He
there 2
can't
seasons
change
before.
it. He can't change it. He can't change the way they play. He's a one
That
tactic
is
manager,
true, isn't it?
and that's it.
I agree.
Can you fix your stream deck, Paul? Because I really want. Where is it? He put it up again.
My stream deck.
Oh, I can't find it now. Yeah, so you can play sound effects and things because I really want Ange's voice like as a little option. It's who we are, mate. Just to like play when you press a button.
Well, is that what we've got to start doing now?
Absolutely.
Billy!
I come from nowhere.
Aye, clearly. I'll certainly work on that, Alex. Definitely.
We could have loads of cool stuff. When Eddie Howe talks about sexy football, that could be one. If you want to call it sexy football, you can call it sexy football, It's a good
Well,
one.
I don't think it's sexy football with Ange.
Well,
No,
no,
not
I
at all,
would prefer
particularly.
Howe ball.
Listen,
Can I just
can
say
I just
before
ask,
we
right, if he was given the Newcastle job, how would you feel?
No.
Well, there you go.
No. Absolutely not. Categorically no. That man, do not let him anywhere near the Northeast in a professional capacity.
No, he can come to the
No.
North East, just not in Newcastle.
Well, yeah. Not a chance. Would never want him at the club.
My point proven.
You imagine Dan Burn playing an Ange system.
I can't imagine anybody at Newcastle United playing an Ange
Terrifying.
system, Alex. It would frighten the
Fabian
shit out of me.
Cher and Dan Burn stood on the halfway line.
With Martin Dubravka behind him.
Mhm.
Once again, Newcastle get beat 48-0.
It's funny because everybody some people in the chat were going, "Oh, he's definitely a good manager. He's a very good manager." And as soon as I
He needs
say,
the right players, though. That's
how-
the thing. He
no,
needs
as
pacey
soon as I then
centre-halves, he
say,
needs,
"Would you?
know.
What would you do if he was given the Newcastle job?" And everybody is no, not even a consideration. No chance. No chance.
But the thing is,
Point
boys, he's a good
proven.
manager. But
It's
he
not.
needs. The problem is, he needs the right tools to play in his way, and you can't always give him that for the league he's in.
I'm not judging him on one season. I don't think he's a good manager. It's my opinion, and I will stick by that. And look, nobody wants him as Newcastle manager.
Well, it's
quite
almost
clearly.
as if you don't value his accolades in Japan.
Or Australia. He's cracked it in all the big places, hasn't he? Scotland, Japan, and Australia.
Let's go there, shall we? Let's go there.
I think he'll do well in the Faroe Islands as well, to be fair. To be fair, though.
The sushi is good in Japan.
No, they're not sushi.
No. But
Can I just veer this off in a slightly different direction?
if you want,
apart
mate,
from
yes.
the overuse of questions about Elliot Anderson, I thought the press conference was really good today. They asked about Lewis Miley. Could he be the next one to go out? Like, do we need to make sure that doesn't happen with Lewis Miley? They were asking about tactical questions. There was references to Dan Burn at left back, Lewis Hall, Joe Willock. Are we going to try and push on and play the same starting 11 again because we've got a break? There was so many good questions and a variety of questions. Again, apart from them asking so many different things with Elliot Anderson, I thought it was generally okay.
And I said I've timed you out again, matey, because you it wasn't your opinion. You made a derogatory comment towards another viewer, which is why you were timed out. And you've done it quite a few times in the last couple of weeks. It needs to stop, mate, or unfortunately, you won't be part of the chat. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just the way it is. I'm not having anybody, no matter who they are, bullying other viewers. Simple as that. End of story. Right, let's try and put a Newcastle
the ball away.
Oh, so you want me? You're happy for those kind of comments to go on in the chat, are you, Alex?
I don't know. Am I?
I'm asking you a question.
Obviously not.
Well, there you go. Anyway, right. Let's
again.
Yes, Billy. It's not.
Tom's got a good point, by the way. The sushi is good. It does sound like somebody's just activated sleeper agent Paul.
Yes.
The sushi.
The sushi is good in Japan.
Have you got your Alexa on?
No. Why?
Because I learned something today, but it'll say for another day.
Billy, if it's the same as what I'm thinking, then Alexas need to stay off.
Well, a seal pushed me yesterday in French.
Yes. It's exactly that one. Yes. It will not be done. By the way, those of you that are asking about Visa, or Wissa, it's going to be another 2 weeks for him. The 6 weeks is a little bit early. It's going to be more like 8. But the problem is he's just going to come back, get match fit, and then fuck off to the African nations. So we're not going to see a great deal of Johan Vissa.
I mean,
by the way.
There's plenty of games to play before January.
There is, but he's got to get match fit, Alex, and we know that he's been out a while. It's going to take time.
Fine. He'll be fine. He'll still get close to a dozen games in, I'd imagine.
Well, I mean, look, that's
before January. Nah, no chance.
I don't think so either.
You seen how many games there are in December, Billy?
Well, he goes to the fucking African nations then.
No, I thought, when does it start?
December.
Oh, does it? I thought it started in January.
I think the squads get together in December, Alex. That
is ridiculous. So it's basically just Voltemada against the world, bless him. He was meant to get bedded in slowly, and Vissa was meant to be.
Oh, that's not happening. He's thrown into the Lions, mate. Basically, that's how that's going to work. The Lions.
The 21st of December, apparently. 23rd. You're all saying different dates. That's not how this works.
25th.
Okay, I mean, if most of those are generally about right, then yeah, we should get. I imagine 6 to 8 matches out of him.
Yeah, 21st of December seems to be the majority of people's comments. So we'll go with the 21st. But anyway, Peter says Zinchenko and Douglas Luiz are both out injured, and Murillo got what looked like a serious injury last night. Predator's been with us for 28 months as a member. I think the lad meant our biggest win in Champions League history. Yeah, look, that's all sorted now. Venemaker was making a point, and it was a typo. And that's what it was. He didn't deserve to be called what he was called. Charlie Marley has gifted a Toon Review membership, as has Joe. Thank you very much. Magpie50 says Nuno had good tactics and just shit. Philip Drake is a new member of the channel. Welcome to Members Club, Philip. Magpie50 says Ange is the same as Amarim. Won't change. I agree with that.
What 1 point just to maybe
he's
challenge
in one
people.
of them moods tonight where you're in a challenging mood, Alex. It's Friday.
Do people remember what we did to Nuno's Spurs?
No, it's fair.
We demolished.
We beat them 6-1.
Yeah.
Was that Nuno Spurs?
That
wasn't Nuno Spurs. That was Conte Spurs.
That was Conte Spurs, Alex.
And he pissed off. Then it left to his coach to take over.
Yeah.
I thought it was Nuno.
He wasn't
Spurs.
in the. No.
Was it the assistant coach?
It wasn't. It was Conte. Absolutely, Conte.
His name was.
Am I misremembering that?
I think you are, Alex. Yes.
It was I think it might have been his only game, but he changed from a back 4 to a back 3 or something.
Yeah.
This whatever his name was,
an assistant coach.
And then he brought the goalkeeper off at half time, didn't he?
What's Conte's assistant?
Forster. It's Fraser Forster.
No,
who had an
it wasn't. Not in the
absolute
first
nightmare.
half, Alex. It was the French goalkeeper.
Or is it? Oh, it was Hugo Lloris who got
Hugo
brought
Lloris
off
in the
for
first half? Yeah, yeah,
Forster. Yeah, because he had an
Yeah.
absolute nightmare.
yeah. So, yeah. Interesting. Ian Fleming says, I loved Ange for what he did at Celtic, but would not want him at the Toon.
Ian, you could do what he did at Celtic. So could I. So could anyone in the chat.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I just think, listen, everybody's got their opinions on football managers, you know, whether it be Newcastle United. But you ask a Tottenham fan or you ask a Nottingham Forest fan what they think of Ange right now, and I tell you what, you'll get an honest opinion. I've seen plenty from the Forest fans. You know, there was a couple in our chat this morning. There's been a couple in tonight. They're not confident. And to be honest, what would give, if you were a Nottingham Forest fan, Billy, right, and you'd seen the start under Ange, and knowing that he doesn't change, what's going to give you the confidence? That's him, Alex. Yes. What would give you the confidence, Billy, that Ange can turn this around, despite the players he's got, knowing that he won't change his tactics?
I wouldn't have an awful lot, to be honest. No, I wouldn't, because he needs to spend an awful lot of money to get the players he wants. He got lucky with Van der Ven.
Nottingham Hotspur.
He wanted to play a high line, so he needed a quick centre back. He got Van der Ven. As soon as he was injured, they were crap. So yeah, he'd have to spend a lot of money. Yeah. And I don't think.
Well, this is what I said to Paul as well, Billy. I think Ange can be good, but the problem is he needs certain players.
Oh, without doubt.
To play his way, and you can't always get those players in the league you're in, especially not the Premier League.
Yeah. So then, as a manager, Alex, then surely you have to adjust to the players you have, and get the best, and change your point of view and change your tactics to coincide with the talent you've got.
Yeah, but this has always been the thing about Pep, though, isn't it? Pep hasn't had to go to a struggling club. Pep has always gone to a club where they've had the highest budget in the league and just been able to do whatever. But clearly, still a fantastic manager. But if you told Pep to go to a Forest for 3 seasons and see what he can do, does anybody know what would happen? I don't.
He'd have to adjust to the players that he's got there if he couldn't sign the...
Or he wouldn't, players. And he would fail, like I think Andrew will.
Well, the thing is, and I think, you know, you make this point about Pep Guardiola, and he's basically deemed as one of the greats now. But you look at the clubs he's been at, he's always had plenty of money, and he's always got the players that he needs to play his way of playing.
Well, he inherited the Barcelona team and then went to teams where he had to build. But
it would be really interesting to see a Pep Guardiola go to a Forest and Everton or somewhere like that to see if
Pep do what Mourinho's had to do. Take
managerial qualities he's really got. Because let's be honest here, guys. If you bringing Pep into the conversation, how many players do you think have actually improved under Pep Guardiola?
Quite a few, but
name them.
I would think the Fodens and then the youngsters at Man City would be all of those.
Right, Foden. But they've let go. Yep, he's not a Man City player anymore. They let him go. Why? What happened to Grealish? There's players gone there that I'll tell you.
Oh yeah.
But Rebecca's right in the chat saying no way Pep would risk his reputation, and I don't
think he would.
A very good point. I don't think he would.
I think he'll retire while he's still at the top. He won't accept a club that's not challenging for a title.
I don't think
he'll take a club.
I think he'll do Spain in the end.
Yeah, Spanish manager.
Yeah, who's he going to go back to though? Barcelona?
No.
Are you in the national team?
Yeah.
But he's been very vocal about Catalonian independence, but we won't get into politics on this channel. So
he played for them, didn't he? He played for Spain, didn't he?
Yeah. Calvin Phillips, another one.
Did he improve him? Did he?
All right, this is the Forest three. So let's stop talking about Pep.
Right, Alex, I will dictate the show. Thank you very much. You just get off your high horse. You're on one tonight. You're on one. Anyway, let's have a look and try and pick a new. Oh, he's pressing the button. Okay. Right, let's pick the side, shall we?
That'll do. Thank you very much. Good night.
I'll put it up specially.
You know damn well as I do that might not be the side.
No, I don't think Lewis Hall's going to play there.
Incidentally, he did mention Lewis Hall today, and the fact that Lewis Hall himself had been feeling, not 100%. still feeling little niggles. Do we believe Eddie in that, or is he just,
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah, why would we not?
Sometimes he tells little white lies, doesn't he?
Yeah, but what would be the purpose of this one?
Well, there wouldn't be a fucking purpose. Well, the purpose would to play fucking Dan Burn at left back. That's the purpose. Do you know what?
Well, if we've got
he
Eddie
said-
Howe lying to play Dan Burn at left back, then we've got real problems.
No,
I
but
don't
he
think
said
that's a
today
thing.
that he's been really pleased with the way Dan Burn's played at left back in the last 2 games. That's not the truth, because he can't have sat there and looked at those 2 performances and thought, yeah, Dan Burn was really good. He can't have. So is he not telling little
I was
white
thinking
lies
about this, to
there?
be fair. So
Well, he
me
might have
and
had-
Billy
he might have
talked
had-
about this.
Yeah, he might have had Arsenal to win in the fixed odds, mightn't he? So that's why he was pleased for that one. But
Well, so I put myself in a little dreamland theoretical position today when I was in the car listening to the press conference, and it was a conversation me and Billy had on the Patreon after the USG game, and I said to Billy, after half time, the first thing that USG did was attack Dan Burn like 3 times.
Yep.
So the halftime team talk and the manager and the coaches of USG went, right, we need to get back into this game. You pick on that bloke. So I really wanted that to get posed to Eddie Howe. It's like Dan Burn is played at left back. The opposition manager's tactic post half time was to try and exploit the space in and behind Dan Burn. Why is that? If he's not a weak link, why are opposition? It's not that we're saying it as fans. Well, I mean, we are, but let's ignore that. But the fact that opposition managers are going, that's the weak point. Surely that you can't deny it at this point. It has to be
Right.
talked
So why
about.
does Eddie Howe, right, think Burn is fine playing at left back, yet every manager that comes against us now and will target
Picks on
Dan
him.
Burn, the fans can all
Exactly.
see that Dan Burn is struggling. What is Eddie Howe seeing with Dan Burn at left back that we're not? Because clearly, if he thinks he's doing okay at left back, and I really panic if he's left back again on Sunday, because the Forest have absolute pace.
I'd rather
again.
play Botman. I'd rather play Botman at left back than Burn, personally.
But we don't have.
I know.
We've got Alex Murphy there and Lewis Hall.
I mean,
You
we've
know,
got bloody Lewis Hall. Let's just play him. He is a left back.
That would be very nice, Alex. So's Alex Murphy, though. He can play there. A very competent left back.
To be fair, we've all been very critical of Joe Linton in recent matches.
yes, we have.
However, is a factor because he's having to kind of that is a consideration of
Well,
that position.
Yeah, but Anthony Gordon covered most of that on Wednesday. Anthony
Well,
Gordon.
it was a shared babysitting role, and this is the problem. The fact that we're labeling it a babysitting role in itself is a problem positionally. Like, he cannot keep playing at left back if people have to babysit him. Like, if you're not good enough to play that role without having a babysitter, don't play him. Like, surely.
Sorry, mate. This is a super chat coming, which I've got to read. Magpie 50 says the Premier League is the hardest league to manage a club. Michael McIntyre has sent in a super sticker. Then we have a super chat from Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. And he says, we have been informed about your stupid comments on your stupid channel. We have ways and means of ensuring you never get a good refereeing decision again. For you, Tommy, the war is over.
that is fantastic. Whoever you
yeah.
are, you're a genius.
Absolutely. Thank you
Karl-Heinz,
for
apparently.
Karl-Heinz. Much appreciated.
Shouldn't you be busy with Oktoberfest, Carl?
Yes, but he is a tiny little German twat. So let's just move on.
We know why Dan Burn's playing left back, because he can't justify picking him at centre half anymore.
No, he can't.
And he feels loyalty towards Dan Burn because Dan Burn hasn't let him down in the past.
Which
That's
is wrong,
basically
Billy.
why.
Which is
Well,
very
apart
wrong.
from him losing the header against Gabriel at Arsenal.
Apart from that.
I mean,
Playing him at left back so you can benefit from his height and still not win the header that you need to win.
look, he can't play there anymore, but I have a really awful feeling he's going to be there again on Sunday.
No, it's got to be
I
Lewis
tend to
Hall.
agree.
Because he
No.
makes that point about Lewis Hall, Alex. He makes the point about Lewis Hall.
I'm not putting him on.
Okay.
I'm
He's
not
got
putting
two.
Dan
He's
Burn
got
on
2
this
weeks to
topic.
rest, hasn't he? Lewis Hall after this.
Well, that was the point I made this morning, Billy, on the show. That I think, you know, the the international break has probably come at the right time. That Lewis Hall will be able to get fit during the 2 weeks. Maybe not match fit, but he'll certainly get a lot fitter than what he's been. Which I think Byrne plays again at left back because he won't leave him out. You're saying no, Alex, but is he going to drop Botman or Chow or leave one of them two out?
No, I'm leaving this as the back four. He cannot drop Malik Chow based on his own comments. If you get in the side and you play well, you stay in the side. So Malik Chow cannot be dropped. Kieran Trippier has to play because Emil Kraft will.
I just think he's looking too far in the past. And Kenzie makes a great point here. My granddad never let me down in the past, but he's still been dead for years. So,
that's a bit.
No, but I get his point. Anyway. I get his point.
Right, let's do a poll.
I think I've taken the word dropped out of thing because it isn't dropped; it's rotating.
But before we do a poll, how do you want to word it?
But he doesn't rotate Byrne either, Billy.
He doesn't rotate him.
Not for the big games.
He doesn't. Do you want to put will Eddie Howe play Hall or Byrne, or do you want to put it? Who would you play? Well, maybe that would be boring because everyone's just going to pick Lewis Hall, surely. Who do you think Eddie Howe's going to play? Surely he's got to be the
put a poll up for a couple of minutes. Who will
Eddie Howe pick at left back? Lewis Hall or Dan Byrne?
Or Alex Murphy?
I mean, yeah, feel free to put some more options in. I mean...
And remember, this is actually who you think Eddie will pick, not who you will pick.
He might play Trippier there, Chow right back and share at centre back.
Billy, stop it.
Yeah, that's the...
You could play Malik Chow, yeah, you're quite right.
Malik Chow.
Right.
Anyway.
Right, the poll is up, and remember, you're actually putting on who you think Eddie will play, not who you will play. Who do you think Eddie will play at left back?
Who do we think Eddie will play in midfield, guys?
Those three.
Those three.
Yeah.
Do you think Joe Linton gets a rest because of his...
No.
I mean, he keeps getting subbed off and he gets a yellow card like...
Well, that's why he was subbed off, Alex, just to...
I don't think he brings Ramsey in. I think Ramsey will be on the bench.
Yeah,
absolutely. Is he now available again, is he?
Yeah. It said he should be on
I didn't hear that in the press conference. I must have been ignoring him. Ramsey, get out of the hospital.
He should be. He's ahead of schedule. He was due to come back in the Brighton game after the international break, but he is ahead of schedule and expected to be in the squad.
Yeah, we've got another player. Woohoo! Right, so I guess midfield's probably not going to change. The front three possibly will.
No.
I hope not, but I think he might as well.
Oh,
I think he might change Alanga for Murphy.
I think Gordon definitely plays.
Why though?
Definitely.
Alanga's playing against his former team. He's going to want to be. He's going to want to perform. Oh no, that's so fucking annoying.
I agree with you.
Really
I want Alanga, but I think he'll play Murphy.
Why?
Although Eddie Howe did say things today about Alanga, and I don't know if he said it by accident. He was asked, will you ask Anthony Alanga about Forest tactics and Forest generally? And he went, no, I think that might be redundant because obviously it's a new manager. Anthony just has to focus on playing. And he was talking about visualizing maybe him playing against Forest. I don't know if that was maybe a Freudian slip, possibly. But
I thought that one. I saw that too, yeah.
I mean, there's an international break coming out. As Chipper says there, we don't need to do a lot of rotation. They've had a day less to prepare for this game as well.
That is true. We've played 3 in 7. It's our 3rd in 7 games. It's not about the next
Billy,
game.
we're going to have to get used to that. That's just the way it is at the top. It's tough at the top.
It is. You're right. But I think he may play Murphy. He may do. I wouldn't personally. That'd be my team there, right there.
Right, but give me a reason why he plays Murphy.
Just because he likes him, and he's a fair rotation, I think.
But that's not a reason.
I would play Ramsdale. I wouldn't play.
Well, that's not going to happen either, Alex. Never in a million fucking years.
They were surprised if Share's in and Chow's playing at right back, and there could be lots of things happening. He might play Sula.
Why would you want to move Chow? Why would you want to move Chow when he's forming a fantastic partnership with Botman?
Oh, I don't want to move him. But
when was the last time Share and Botman played together?
Pretty good when they did.
Have this season, haven't Don't know.
You what, Alex?
In a back three, I think they have. And they've played together in a back three, but not as I don't think they've played together in a back four as centre half partners. So this top five here, I think these are the five that are challenging to be in the starting 11.
I agree.
Well, maybe not so much Asula. I think it is going to be Voltemada, but Asula's been really useful recently. So
Yes, but
I'd still rather Big Nick started.
you're not going to leave Voltemada out. No way. No
Bloody hope
way. I honestly just.
And maybe Miley as well, Stato. Maybe Miley, because if he does rest Joe Linton, I think it'll be Miley that comes in for him.
It would be Miley. I have no doubt about it because he won't start Ramsey straight away, not after an injury.
You're all wrong.
Right, piss off, Alex. You're just winding me up now.
He might do that.
No, he won't do that at all.
He might do that.
I've got more chance of eating my own feces for breakfast with a tin of beans than him starting the game on Sunday.
No, he didn't bring off the
I
bench.
don't know your weekend plans.
He's never been off. Exactly, Billy. He's never brought. He's not even in the reckoning to come off the bench these days.
Oh, what have we done with Joe Linton? There he is.
That's the team I want to see. That's really the team I want to see.
Chippers makes a good point. Chippers makes a very good point. Apparently, Charles not been named for Germany, so
He hasn't.
sod it. Use him. I think he's going to play anyway, Chippers. If Fabian Schär starts this game, I will be very annoyed, as I'm sure most of us would, because he doesn't. Unless it's fatigue, there is no reason Chow does not start this game at all.
Is Joe Linton's form a worry for you two? That he's not quite at it.
I think he needs minutes.
No, I'm all right.
I mean, I thought he was
I'm all
all right. I thought he was all right, especially first half on Wednesday. I thought he did well. But
He needs minutes. He'll be all right.
yeah.
Well, if he's got these two on the left, then I think he's going to have a much better game. Certainly, I think that will help him. And again, I think Forest is not as good as some of the teams we've played recently. So
The thing is about the front three, Alex, right? He was talking about Voltemada in the press conference this morning and how his link-up play is getting better and better. Surely he's paid a lot of money for Anthony Elanga, right? And we paid a lot of money for Anthony Gordon, and they're very good players. Surely he wants to try and get them front three, who are the starting front three, by no doubt about it. Surely if he wants them to keep gelling or get better at gelling, they're going to have to play more games together and keep bringing Murphy in or Gordon out and Barnes or whatever he does. It's not going to create that understanding. And the understanding was starting to take place again on Wednesday. You saw it starting to develop.
He referenced it in the press conference that they're learning in games because they're not getting quite as much time to prepare this outside of a match setting. So, and I think he's bang on. I think they're starting to understand little combinations, and they've been teaching Voltemada certain things.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think it's Voltemada they need to teach. I think it's the wingers and the rest of the team they need to teach.
Learning
Voltemada.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But it looked a lot better against USG, and we need to do more of that. Like, if we just need to do again, this is why I was this. I don't want to annoy you, Paul, but this is why I was a fan of Maxi. I want a winger who just wants to take someone on, and I want Elanga and Gordon to do that. I don't care if you lose it. We don't care if you lose the ball or it doesn't work every time. But if you constantly try and become a menace and get in behind and get to the byline, we're making it. It's a good thing for ourselves. Look at the goals we scored because we did that several times. Elanga won a penalty. Started the first goal. Like, if Gordon and Elanga get brought down and it goes wrong a few times, I don't care. Just keep going at those fullbacks.
That's what we said during commentary, is it not? On Wednesday, we said that wingers are going to lose the ball. Wingers are always wingers will be tackled, but as long as they keep getting up and going at it, that's what you want to see for your winger. Mary's arse says, Paul, stop talking shite about dropping Big Dan Burn. He's our best defender by far. Well, Mary, your head is up your proverbial arse, I'm afraid. Listen, I'm not saying anything about Dan Burn. I love Dan Burn, and he's a fantastic centre-back. Note centre-back, not a left-back. So, yeah.
I mean, you look at that lineup and think, is Eddie Howe really going to play that lineup with no Dan Burn in it?
Yeah. Well, I think Botman is a better player, a better footballer than Dan Burn. And Lewis Hall is a better left back than Dan Burn. So
there's no
apart from dropping the leadership role,
but when has he ever left him out on merit?
Exactly.
Look, Dan Burn is a good player. He most certainly is a Premier League standard player, and
Centre back, Alex. Yes,
if anything,
no doubt about it.
European standard player. I think he deserved it getting into the England team. He's been in the mixer, scoring in cup finals. He does not deserve people saying he's not that good, because he is.
He
But
is centre back.
Botman, he's just a bit.
Oh,
better.
Botman and Chow are going to be elite. There's no doubt about it.
And
Anyway,
Bot-
we've got super chat from Mark. He says he's got to stay with the same front three. As Eddie said, the wingers needed to step up, and they did on Wednesday, so we can't go back on what he said and change it. And Darren's been a member for a month. Hall and Miley are in the under-21s, so Hall won't get much rest.
Well, if Hall's still feeling the same way, there's no way I'll go.
I have a feeling he'll be pulled out of
he
that
should
squad.
pull out of that squad. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, the poll, we asked you guys who you think Eddie Howe will start on Sunday, and 72% said Dan Burn.
There you go.
Oh dear.
26 Hall, and only 2 for obviously Alex Murphy, but 72% said Burn.
He's been rested for 2 games. He's got to play.
Well,
Dan Burn's played so many minutes as well.
but Alex, it's not about Hall playing, is it? It's about
It's
Burn
also about
not
resting
playing.
him. Like, I get not resting centre halves.
He was knackered on Wednesday, Dan Burn. He was absolutely
Yeah,
knackered.
because he's played 2 matches as a fullback. Playing fullback's a lot harder than playing as a centre half.
Yeah.
So, by his definition, got to rotate him. You know, he rotates his fullbacks.
What about
He's
this?
played him as a fullback twice.
Scott's just put in there
No,
a back 5 to accommodate Dan Burn.
Not Forest at home.
I'll cry.
5 at the back against 1 striker. Nah.
But I just have a feeling that
We'd
when
still lose Chris Wood in the
Match
mix
Day
as
Live
well, man.
starts and we put the teams up, it's going to be Dan Burn.
Yes.
Well, yeah. And Claire, that's a good point. The things he said about Hall says Burn starts.
I agree.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's prediction time before we go, fellas. So let's start with you tonight, Alex. What do you reckon? Get your predictions in the chat as well, guys.
I'm going to go 3-0.
So you're going for a
I want
Chris
us
Wood
to take
hat-trick
the
again, are you?
confidence into this game. Ha. I'm going to go with a bit more big Nick energy with 1 goal from him. I think who else is going to get one? I'm going to try and just will this into existence. One of the centre halves needs to score from a bloody header.
It would be nice.
It's ridiculous that we're just not got it. Yeah. So hopefully a Burn or a Botman or a Chow header of some description from a set piece. And then number 3, who would go for? I'd like to see Gordon score from open play, but I don't know. Maybe Bruno. He keeps trying those funny curled shots and they're always over the bar. Maybe one of them will work this time.
Yeah.
I'll go 3-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I really bloody hope we do, because Ange is rubbish at the moment with Forest. So we need to take advantage of this game.
Terrible manager. Billy.
I think it'll be a 2-0 cakewalk. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Well, that's...
And play within ourselves doing it. It won't be anything so spectacular. However, if we score early, I mean, anything could happen.
I'm going 3-1. I think they might sneak a goal at some point, but I think we'll win. And again, I don't think Ange has it in his locker to change anything. Should it be going wrong for Nottingham Forest? But we shall see. Alamon says, a member for a month, thank you. Playing Big Dan Burn at left back allows Eddie Howe to switch up the formation in the second half without having to bring another centre back on. But we're at home to Nottingham Forest. Alex, your mic's off.
Yeah, but we get 5 substitutions now, so it doesn't matter. Surely that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Peter Garthwaite, the ever big fan of Eddie Howe, of course. Thank you for your super chat, Peter. He says, I work with a couple of Bournemouth fans, and they state that when he was at Bournemouth, he played his favourites rather than the best for the team.
Well done, Peter, for finding them 2 Bournemouth fans.
Yeah, Peter, I don't think you've ever said anything positive about Eddie Howe, to be honest. Did you talk to those Bournemouth fans while you were asleep by any chance? Just putting it out there. Gordon says, thank you, Gordon. 3-0. Members of Newcastle United Scotland supporters group will be attending our first game as an official supporters club. You're not from Dundee, are you, Gordon?
From Dundee.
You got any American members of that club?
Oh, God almighty. Oh, horror. Anyway. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It has been a pleasure. Hope you all stay safe in this if you're certainly in the northeast, the storm is rotten here tonight. The wind is terrible. And that's not just from Billy's backside. It is generally terrible up here.
I got the wind in the northeast. We am bad, but I'm fucking bad.
Well, Billy, the way you can let them go, it creates a storm. Once it gets into the jet stream, that's it. It just anyway.
Was it you and arses today?
I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. It really, really does help the channel. Don't forget, this will be as a podcast in about an hour's time. If you want to listen to it again, just the audio, it is on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever your favorite podcast provider is. We're on there in about an hour's time. And of course, keep voting for us in those football content awards. So important we get your votes, as there's not long left now to vote, guys. So we need you more than ever. Well, thank you, mods. Thank you, Alex and Billy. And thank you to every single one of you out there. Have a cracking weekend. If there's any news to bring you tomorrow, then there'll be a video. But if not, we will see you for Matchday Live, which starts at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. But until then, enjoy your weekend, folks. Have a blast, and we'll see you soon. Good night.
Well, nuts and nusses.
Come back and check out some breathing.